friends, Pamela Shepherd with Pamela Shep Productions. We're going to make a farmhouse pot holder today, really easy. Thanks for coming along. Bright. I bought this at Joann's, and it's for hot pads. Okay, so I've cut my back 8.5 inches. I cut an Bright 8.5 inches. I cut a piece of thin batting 8.5 inches, another piece of Bright 8.5 inches, and the top. Now I'm going to sew it from corner to corner. So put it where you can watch. Okay, here we go. So to keep it straight, you already know that I really like to use, a ruler that's thick enough so that my foot won't jump over top of it. So I'm going to do this one on the very last line, and here we go. Oh. Alright, put it there. Ooh. Ooh, I don't want to bumpy. Really thick. No, didn't do a bumpy. And then I'm going to go from corner to corner again. You can draw it out, but I can kind of eyeball that one, I think. This is so cute. I love this. I'm making this for my sister-in-law. We have a little mini farm, if you will. And then we're going to do the same thing again. Okay, now we have to do is just square it up and put our binding around it. Be right back. Okay, so we're going to do the binding around the pot holder, and so I'm using the same fabric that I did on the back. You don't have to, you can use any fabric, it doesn't matter. And I liked mine 2.5 inches. Some people like theirs 2 inches, some like it 2.25 inches, but I like it 2.5. And so what I'm going to do is fold the end in. I saw this done on, I think it's called Shabby Fabrics, and I liked it a lot to do it this way. Okay, so we're gonna fold it in half. Hopefully it won't hit the camera because I have it kind of low. Okay, let me raise it out. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna fold this all the way. We won't be using this whole pit. I just cut 2.5 from salvage to salvage. You don't have to cut this on the bias because our pot holders are square. So we don't have to go any round circles. I'm not even rounding the edges of the pot holders. But even if you rounded the edges, you wouldn't have to do a bias because it's not that much. But if you're doing a heart-shaped one or a round one, you really would need to cut your fabric on the bias. And I can show you how to do that sometime if you want. I have it on some of my videos, but I can just do a specific video if you'd like. Okay, so, and the reason I'm going to go ahead and iron it all the way, even though I'm not going to use it all, is because I'm going to use the same fabric to make the hanger like this. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so let's go over to the sewing machine and I'll show you. Okay, so I quilted it going on the triangle ones. I really like that. Now I am going to switch over, since I'm going to use this binding. Then I do happen to have this in or very similar, in a bobbin and that. So I am going to change it because I don't want the cream colored thread on right on the red in the back. So I'm gonna, oops. I'm going to start this on the side. I'm going to start it on the back. And the piece that I folded inside, that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start about right there. But what I'm going to do is open it up. You sew the raw edge to the raw edge. And I'm going to only do one side for a little, till about there. And then I'll show you when we get to the end why I did it that way. And I'm doing 1/4 inch seam. Move my other pot holders out of the way. That's probably far enough. And then I'll go back just a little ways. And then I'll cut it. And then where I left off, right here, whoops, right here, I'm going to start right there, maybe back just a little ways, but right in there is where I'm going to start. Okay, you turn it up so you can literally watch what I'm sewing. All right, so here we go. Now when you get to the corner, you want to stop about 1/4 inch away. So you can mark it or you can pin it. I'm just going to eyeball it, and I'm going to cut this so I can show you what I'm doing. Then I'm going to take my, well, that's too far. Let me do a little farther. It needs to be 1/4 inch. Okay, and then we're gonna do it like this, where actually you just do it kind of straight. See, like that. And then you have the diagonal, and this goes up, and then you pull it right back down, and you want it to be up against the edge, like that. And that works great. Okay, so then we're going to do 1/4 inch there. Okay, we're going to come all the way back down to this corner. Okay, and I'll show you again. So I'm going to cut the thread, and we're going to do diagonal, coming straight up, straight to the corner, coming back down over top of ourselves, and this leaves us the perfect amount of fabric to make the best corners on quilts or anything. Now quilts I normally so where I attach it, I do it on a diagonal. I do it different than this, but I think this is absolutely perfect for pot holders. And I like it. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. I'm going to cut it so I can show you again. And we're going to flip it up have it right there in the corner and flip it back down. Okay, I barely made it a quarter. I don't know. Let me see if it'll even do it. I may have to... Yeah, I think it is. Okay. So, okay, that's the last corner before we sew down here and gather it. I mean, join it. A little too big. Okay, so I'm gonna hold this open for just a minute, and I'm gonna sew this okay, just past there. Then what I really want to do is wherever I quit sewing back here, I'm going to hold my fabric down to where I quit sewing. And I'll grab my scissors. We're going to see that again right here, right there. So I'm going to cut this just about right there. And I'm going to hold this open and put this down inside. And we're gonna make sure it gets nice and flat. It can. You have to just work with it for a minute. You don't want it to bunch up and leave a big old bulge for sure. Oh, there we go. Now it's going nice and flat. Okay. All right. I don't know if I can get that to go in anymore. Okay, there we go. All right. Yeah, and the reason you don't have to worry about this so much is because by the time you turn it over and stitch it, you've only got this little bit of a piece, and then the frayed part is clear back in there. So we're going to just turn, see how nice it turns the edges when you make your corners like that? Okay. All right, so I'm going to start right here. And I'm going to pull it over. And I'm going to barely sew on top. I'm kind of like running this one right across the middle of that so that it's not a huge big, you know, edge there. So I think it looks good. So see? I'm going to pull this one over. You can see it's about the same. But you want to make sure and catch the edge for sure. So then when you get to the corner, get my hands out of the way, and you pull this piece down and you pull this piece up. See what a good corner it makes? So I'm going to go across there, get right on the edge, and then I'm going to turn it and then put it back. There we go. Oops. Lift up my needle and then, my pressure foot, and then here we go again. I got too close. Okay, pull it down and pull that up. There you go. Okay. Okay, so there's our binding. Oops. And there it is on the back. I need to clean up some threads a little bit. Now we're going to take this piece that was left over and we're going to measure off. We're going to measure off 6 inches. And I'm going to, well, look how crooked I got that. Let's make it straight. Goodness sake alive. You don't have to make it straight. It seems like it should be straighter. Okay, then I'm going to fold it down about that far and iron it on both ends. Then I'm going to fold them in and iron it so that it'll be like that. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm going to sew about 1/8 of an inch along this edge. Okay, and trim off the okay, then I'm going to take, and on these I've been putting them right in the middle-ish. I mean, I'm just judging it. So I'm going to put them about right there. And then I just turn, can you see what I did? I just kind of judged the middle. I put the edge that I didn't sew towards the front. Then I just put these two together. And it looks about right to me. So then I turn it over and I put them together. And I sew them. And I back stitch, and a forward stitch, and a back stitch. And if you want to, you can do it down just a little bit lower too to take care of that, the look of the seam. You can, okay. And there you have it. So cute. So fast and so easy. And you can see it doesn't take that much fabric. It's the Insel Bright inside. I did some on the outside of this and some on the outside of this with a piece of batting in the center. So I mean, they are nice, thick, nice. You could just do 2 pieces of Insel Bright so that it's, you know, safe to touch it on both sides, but you don't have to. So anyhow, there you have it. 3 pot holders pretty quickly. All right. All right. Well, don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up if you like it. And then also share it if you think somebody might like it. At least subscribe. It's free. And I'm going to be doing some other stuff. I'm just about to start sewing a cover for the back of my chair that I'm sitting in. And it's going to be so fun and easy and so shabby chic. And you won't want to miss that, okay? All right. God bless you all. I hope today is just a blessing to you. And we'll talk to all you good people later, okay? Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe. And we will see you on the very next video. Bye-bye.